Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wolf It Down Live. We are so happy to have you here with us tonight. Tyler and Matt are cooking a great menu in the kitchen. We have a Moroccan chicken tagine. It is beautiful. It is vibrant. It is sponsored by Rosie Organic Chicken. I hope you're cooking along with us. We also have a Sicilian orange wine that we're going to be talking about and trying. And I am Amanda Gold. I am your moderator. I'm Tyler's producer. So I will be moderating the chat. Put your questions down there. Anything, everything. Ask away. We're gonna have a great time tonight. We can't wait to have you along for the ride. Without further ado, Tyler Florence, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Amanda, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I also want to introduce Matt Macera.
Hey, everybody.
Matt's our culinary producer and creator of all wonderful things that we do in our company here. And we're going to be hanging out with you tonight in our kitchens together. We're in your kitchen and you are in our studio right here in Northern California and downtown Mill Valley. And we're excited to be cooking with you. We have a great menu set up for you tonight. We're going to be making a Moroccan chicken tagine from scratch. And we're not going to be using a traditional tagine. We're going to be making all the great flavors that kind of go into that, but we're going to be using some more contemporary cookware, just sort of your average, pots with a lid, so everybody can cook that at home tonight. I hope you went to wolfitdown.com/live to grab the recipe, and if you want to right now, just open up a second window in your browser, go over there, down the recipe. It's yours. Download it. You can have it. Follow along if you want to, or if you're cooking along with us tonight, and I know a lot of people are, we are so excited to have you because that's where the rubber meets the road. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday until the 8th of when's our last?
End of July.
End of July, right? Yeah. So we're going to have so much fun together cooking amazing dishes every single Wednesday. We're excited to have you. So tonight's class is powered by our good friends at Rosie's Organic Chicken from Petaluma, California. We've been friends with them. Hey, Rosie's, thank you so much, guys. We've been friends with them for a very, very long time. We have shot commercials for them for, maybe 5 years now. Really great, fantastic company. Best chicken here in California, no doubt about it. And if you're on the West Coast, you can find it in most grocery stores or ask for it by name. As a matter of fact, we love them so much. We want to share with you our latest little commercial that we shot for them. So without further ado, Nikki on the ones and twos, man. Roll that beautiful chicken footage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chef Tyler Florence, and we are here in Petaluma, nestled in the beautiful rolling hills of Northern California, which is known as the chicken capital of the world and home to Rosie, the original organic chicken. Launched in 1999, Rosie's was the first certified organic chicken in the state of California. 20 years later, Rosie's has gone from pioneer to prime time, and now the #1 organic chicken in the state. We're using Rosie's Organic Chicken, best stuff on earth. We are here in the test kitchen. I think this chicken is phenomenal. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Delicious chicken coconut rice. The kids are gonna love it. I'm gonna make an amazing chicken marsala from scratch with all the bells and whistles. So we got 2 organic Rosie's chicken breasts. Chicken Parmesan, classic. Ask for Rosie's Organic Chicken by name at your favorite grocery store all across the state of California. That is such a great commercial. And again, thank you so much, Rosie, for sponsoring tonight's episode. And we cannot wait to cook along with you guys tonight. So as always here on Wolf It Down Live, we're going to get a little beverage, a little libation going, and putting together the flavors of a Moroccan chicken tagine. You're talking about sort of a spectrum of just really wonderful spice, right? Tonight it's like kind of walking through the spice market in Marrakesh and use all the sights and sounds and smells of like harissa and turmeric and cumin and olives and raisins and almonds and all these really kind of wonderful flavors. So tonight I'm matching this up with a really beautiful Sicilian orange
wine, which is actually a white wine that has lots of really good skin contact. And that's where some of the oxidation comes from, which really kind of gives it its sort of orange color. Now, this is a raw wine. This is Lustro Catarratto, right? And it's a Sicilian white grape called Catarratto, and that's the grape itself. And this is just, it's raw wine, and the fermentation happens from the natural yeast that's on the skin in Sicily. So it's about having a really kind of wonderful organic product, no sulfites, just really delicious natural raw wine. The flavor is amazing. This is a dry white wine that has the notes of like apricot and really kind of wonderful fruit forward, stone fruit mainly. So we're gonna be serving this tonight. Give it a little glass to all my co-hosts.
All your peeps.
Yeah, all my peeps. And keep the comments coming in, rolling, guys. So Amanda's going to be moderating. She's reading the chat line as it starts to roll in. So if you got any comments or chats?
There's a few quick wine questions.
Yeah, sure.
Is it dry? Is it sold on the East Coast? Is it a Muscat?
It's not a Muscat. It's actually, Catarratto is actually the grape itself. It's not Muscat. It's like, it's a dry white wine. And it has a really delicious kind of stone fruit flavor profile to this, and I just think it's amazing. So orange wine is white wine with extended skin contact.
Yeah.
Right?
Cheers, Amanda.
Cheers.
I just think that's
Why orange and not pink?
so delicious. Okay, so a pink wine, a rosé, is actually made from red wine with limited skin contact, and that's what gives its blush color. Right? So a white wine is just fresh crushed grape juice. An orange wine is white grapes crushed, and they leave the skins in the mash for a little while, and you kind of get this kind of golden, slightly oxidized color, and you get a little more flavor, a little more tannin. It's a little more interesting.
I think it's a lot more interesting.
A lot more interesting, right?
Yeah, it's, I mean, totally different.
Yeah,
totally different,
it's
right?
delicious.
I like it. Yeah,
and it is
good.
really dry. Which
Yeah.
I kind of like.
very
It's going to
dry.
go really good with tonight's meal, and I get that apricot a lot.
Yeah.
Which is going to go great with the dates and the mint and everything else.
Yeah, totally. So tonight's dish is going to be finished with dates, but you can finish it with dry apricots. And every time I'm thinking about like Moroccan flavors, I always kind of go back to apricots. This wine sounded kind of interesting. I think it's kind of great. Drink what you got. Drink what you like. I think if you haven't had orange wine, I think it's really kind of interesting.
Tell me the name of it one more time.
Okay, yeah. So it's Lustro, Lustro Catarratto, right? Can you get a good close up of this? All right. So this is our Beastie Boy cam. Is it blown out, or can you read it?
No, you can see it.
All right, cool. So check it out. Now, this is not a cheap bottle of wine. This is like $42 retail. I just literally walked down to the wine store here in Mill Valley and picked it up. I think it's really, really great. But I think it's just sort of a conversation about orange wines this summer.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, like Total Wine & More has a big selection of orange wines and stuff if you want to go down that aisle and start exploring them.
Check it out.
They're super fun.
Super duper fun. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Wolf It Down Live, episode 3. Chin Chin. Boom. Here's to you.
Cheers.
And let's start the recipe. Okay, so again, wolfitdown.com/live has all of our recipes, all of our classes. Download the recipes. They're our gift to you. Check them out. Make them. Hang out with us. Cook along. We're just glad you're here tonight. So we're going to start off our recipe by making our garnish first and foremost. And we're going to be making some pickled red onions to kind of put on top of the dish. Not only are they really, really vibrant, but they're also really delicious. And I think kind of a fun garnish that goes on a lot of things. Like if you like Moroccan food or if you like tacos, I think pickled red onions are just kind of a fire garnish.
Good thing to have in the fridge.
It's a great thing to have in the fridge. So let's talk about the ingredients real fast, right? So we've got red wine vinegar, right? We got a little bit of water, and that sort of dilute the pungency of the red wine vinegar itself, so it's not quite so acidic. We've got some sugar to balance it out, and this is where the marriage really starts to kind of come together and really kind of make something like super palatable. And then we're going to take our onion here, we're going to julienne this up, we're going to throw it all into a pot, bring it up to a simmer, and then we're going to shut it down with some ice and then throw it in the fridge. And by the time our rice dish or chicken tagine dish is done tonight, these are going to be just like neon red, really super tasty, and a super fun garnish to throw on top of everything.
What do you think? I mean, do you think that pickled red onions, how long do they actually need to pickle Like, what's the minimum amount of time? I mean, they could sit forever. I mean,
Yeah.
not forever, but they could sit overnight easily.
I've got a quart of pickled onions in my fridge right now. I think I've had for about a month, and then once they kind of hit that certain acidity level,
Yeah.
they're really not going to break down
kind of
or go
plateau.
bad or anything, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to hang tight like a jar of pickles in your fridge, right? So these are really, really great. So they'll last a while. They taste really great, and I think the minimal pickling time is about a half an hour.
Yeah.
All right, that's kind of what we have tonight. So anyway, so we got one red onion, and we've taken the skin, the top and the bottom off. And we're going to cut this right down the middle, and then we're just going to cut this not into sort of like normal julienne. I'm going to just take my time, and I'm going to follow the natural curvature of the onion itself. So you can see those little lines that kind of run through all this. Those little ridges, they'll kind of give you a roadmap of how you want to cut this. So you're going to get these perfect little crescent moon shapes that are going to look really, really nice. So instead of just kind of burning through this straight down, we're going to cut these always at a slight curve, almost like we're kind of circling the earth here, right? Then these longitudinal lines from one end to the other. And these are going to be really great.
Can you use Vidalia onions if you don't
Yeah.
like red onions?
Oh, those are great. I love
Yeah.
that. Because I grew up in the South, I love Georgia Vidalia onions. Those are bomb.
Yeah.
Super sweet. You can pickle a lot of stuff. I pickle a lot of things in my house. If you know me, if you kind of...
You can pickle anything.
You can pickle anything. Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of Robert De Niro.
Milk a cat?
You can milk a cat.
You can
Okay.
milk- yeah.
You can milk anything.
You
All
can
right,
milk
so
a
Matt,
cat, Greg.
Yeah, so Matt's starting a pickling liquid over here, right? So again, red wine, water, sugar. We're going to bring this up. Let's turn this off. We're going to turn this up to a simmer. Now we're going to bring this up to a simmer just long enough to dissolve the sugar and just kind of bring it up to a quick simmer. And then we're just going to pour this straight over top of the onions. And then again, we're going to shock this down with some ice. Now the ice is going to stop the cooking process so the onions have a little snap to them so they don't get too soft, because you still want to feel like a pickle, like you're eating a pickle, right? And it's going to be good. It's good. I love it. I'm so excited to be cooking with you guys tonight. Welcome back, everybody who has been cooking with us for the last couple of weeks. We've had a ball doing this.
Yeah.
So much fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And you know what I was going to say? Let's tell them about the giveaway, because I think people need to know that now if they're doing this along with
right.
you.
And so obviously, we're kind of making this up as we go, but it feels fun, right? So tonight we're going to give away one of our 100% organic Wolf It Down t-shirts. They're also available on wolfitdown.com right now, so you can take a look at them. They're available in small, medium, large, and extra large, and we're going to be giving a $25 value. We're going to be giving one of them away tonight. Now, here's what you got to do. Let me tell you what you got to do, right? So the first person to cook along with us, finish the tagine. I mean, with everything. We're talking about the dates, the pickled onions, everything. All the bells and whistles. And you got to take a photograph of your dish and then post it on Instagram. And you can either post it as a post or put it on story. Tag me at Tyler Florence and then hashtag Wolf It Down. We're going to be hanging by tonight. Hopefully, we'll have a winner before the end of the class, which would be really, really great. And the first person with a timestamp, the first person to get one posted, now we'll be watching, we'll get a free Wolf It Down t-shirt.
And Tyler
Okay,
will
cool.
repost too. So even if you don't think you're the first, go ahead and post that dish.
Everybody posts.
Yeah.
If you're not the first, no big deal. I'll still
In
kind of
this
post
case,
it.
we don't say if you're not first, you're last.
If you're not first, you're last. Gotta love that
But
movie.
not in this case.
Yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
a winner.
If you're not first, you're still having a good time. Okay, so as soon as this comes up to a simmer, and this is going to smell very vinegary. We're making pickles, no big deal, right? As soon as this comes in, we're going to pour the straight over top of the raw onion, throw some ice on top of that, and then we're just going to throw that in the fridge and just kind of let it do its thing. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on our chicken itself. So we're going to sear the chicken breasts, and they're going to go into the oven at 350 degrees and kind of like pan roast. So that's the next part of this recipe. The third part will be the actual rice dish itself. And then once the rice dish is done, the chicken will get sliced on top of that. And then we're going to make a little garnish with fresh dates. Okay, whoa, hang on. Whoa, slow down, cowboy. Let's get it right, nice and centered. Here you go, ready?
All right, ready?
You got a nice shot of this? Okay, so pickling liquid over top of the onions. Bang. All right.
It is
Stack
quite
high,
fragrant.
watch
It is
fly.
quite fragrant in here.
It does, right? Get a little, open up the window, get a little tear in your eye.
Get a little bit of that cleared pathways.
So the cool thing about working with red onions and red wine vinegar, you can tell immediately how the color is starting to become just really beautiful and vibrant. It happens almost instantly, and the longer you let it set, the more vibrant the onions will become, right? So let's give this a nice little stir. We're gonna drop some ice on top of this, right? Just a little bit of ice, no big. All right, it's gonna go into the fridge, and the ice is gonna sort of drip down into the pickle itself. It's gonna stop the cooking process and also just sort of dilute it a little more, make it a little more palatable, and this is gonna be a really great garnish. Again, something fun to throw on anything that you really like. They're great on eggs, great on tacos, great on what else?
Yeah, people are asking what else would you use them for?
Tacos specifically, if you really like really good Latin American cooking, that's a great recipe.
Or like chilaquiles.
Anything in that world.
Really good in salads too.
Really good in salads.
Really good on salads, nice mix.
Or a sandwich.
Or a sandwich. Like if you want to make a salad with cucumbers and pickled red onions and blue cheese, and I know you like blue cheese, Amanda, a lot.
I know it. Almost as much as I'm going to like the cilantro on this dish.
You're going to love it. All right. Okay,
so cilantro on this dish.
There's not?
No.
Oh, good.
There's mint.
Well, look at that. I'm going to eat
Have
it.
it your way, Amanda.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to eat it.
I've been working with Amanda for a very, very long time, and she's got like a little tiny list of things she doesn't like, and that's okay.
It's a little tiny.
A little tiny, not that much. It's like
blue cheese, goat cheese, cilantro.
That's it.
Basically.
Almost make a wrap out of that, right? Okay, here we go. Chicken. These are really good. Now, we got these from the butcher shop, right? So these are beautiful organic chicken breasts from Rocky and Rosie Chicken. Rosie Organic specifically from Petaluma. Just really, really good friends of ours. Now, what I like to do when we're searing chicken, again, this is a great tip if you follow along. I've done this a couple of times in a recent cooks because I think it's such a great magic trick on a couple of different levels. On a flavor level, on a color level, and then also because the chicken doesn't stick in the pan because we're drying it off first and foremost. And I think that's really important. Now, this is a great tip for fish, shrimp, pork, whatever. You want to take a second, grab some paper towels, and you want to pat your protein dry. You want to get the outside of the protein as dry as you possibly can. Now, let me tell you why. Because the moisture on top of the chicken, and sometimes when you open up the packet, it can feel a little moist. That will actually steam and stick to the skillet or the saute pan that you're using before the chicken will begin to sear. And then sometimes when you drop it in and your fish will stick or your chicken will stick, it bums you out. But this is also going to guarantee we're going to get a really beautiful, vibrant golden brown color too, which is going to be great. Pat it dry. Okay.
And you picked that up from the butcher, right? But you can get the Rosie Organic Chicken in packages.
Yes.
That are like vacuum sealed and they'll last a few days, which I love.
Which is great. And again, this is super duper local because we live in Marin and San Francisco and up in Folsom and Sacramento. And so Rosie's Chicken is all over the West Coast of the United States. So you can ask for them by name. You can look for that really kind of fun logo inside the chicken case, but also they have...
Yours was in the chicken case, and then they also have it...
Mine was in the butcher's
yours was
case.
In the butcher, but right? It's Rosie.
But it's Rosie.
But then inside the butcher case, they've got all different cuts, all prepacked, ready to go.
Exactly.
Which
so
I love.
Whole chickens, quarters, legs and thighs, boneless, skinless chicken. So whatever you're looking for, they've got you covered. Again, it's the only chicken that we use here in the test kitchen. We love them to death, and we've been working with them for a long time. Because when we cut that piece together, we were going through a lot of our old videos.
Yeah.
And literally been going back since like 2016, 17. So anyway, we love you guys to death. Thank you so much for sponsoring tonight. Here we go. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt on top of that. So now also you want to preheat your pan. That's the next little kind of magic trick when it comes to searing great protein. And these are the little techniques, right? So when it comes to cooking with you and me in the kitchen, we've been doing it for a very long time. And I think there's a difference between recipes and technique, right? So recipes will make a dish. But when it comes to really great cooking, it's all about technique. And that way you can open up the refrigerator and the fridge can tell you what's for dinner tonight because you got the technique locked and loaded, right? And that's always the most important thing when it comes to becoming a really good cook. So we're gonna take our pan here, we're gonna preheat this, we're gonna add our olive oil to it. Now we're waiting for the temperature of the oil to give us a couple of really great signals. We're looking for a little haze come off the top of this. We're looking for a slight little bit of smoke. We're not going to catch the house on fire, but just enough to kind of let us know that the pan is hot enough and ready to go because we want to sear this chicken the second it hits the pan, right? I love it.
So if you do have an actual tagine cooking vessel, is the preparation any different? Someone wants to know.
Yeah, I would sear the chicken in its own pan versus this is the same pan. We're gonna sear the chicken in this, take it out, and then build the rice and stuff in this pan.
Yeah.
Where I would just sear the chicken in a separate saute pan and then build your rice in the tagine. Yeah.
So let's talk about a tagine for a second. So we're making a tagine flavored rice dish, and by that means we're using a lot of North African, Moroccan flavor profile for this, right? But a tagine is a very specific cooking vessel. As a matter of fact, we've got a couple pictures here. Now, look at that fade out, kid. Fade in one more time. Boom, look at that. So this is what a tagine actually looks like. It's 2 pieces, and there are metal tagines, but for the most part, the really authentic ones are made out of terracotta. And so it's got two different parts to it. It's got the base where you kind of build this really wonderful amalgamated yummy dish of olives and chicken and chilies and all kinds of fresh vegetables. And then the top of it goes on top, and then as the flavor starts to kind of build up, it'll actually rain back into the dish itself and create a really delicious flavor profile, so you don't really lose anything. So it kind of creates a little bit of a pressure vacuum on top of the dish itself as it's starting to simmer. But we're not going to use one tonight, and we decided not to only because I'm not really sure how many people have them.
I think most people don't.
Right. So we're gonna mock a tagine tonight by using a saute pan with the lid. Now I know it's not the exact same thing, but the rice dish is where it's really at. So we want to kind of open up the flavor profile. If you want to grab one of these, that you can totally find them at like Williams Sonoma.
I think there's like a cool store in Sonoma if you're in California.
Yeah.
That has like all Moroccan stoneware and
they're beautiful.
Yeah,
they're absolutely beautiful.
And
we
get some that are like super ornate and
and vintage
painted
ones.
and
And they look really great in the kitchen too, for sure. So I just want to let everybody know out there that we're making a tagine inspired dish. We want to show you what a tagine looks like, but of course we're trying to modify this so as many people who want to jump in can make it with things they already have laying around the house. Okay, so here we go. So this, and again, this pan is deep enough. All right, check it out. So we're dropping the chicken in. Now notice it doesn't stick. Again, this is the party trick, folks. Right? So pat the chicken dry, preheat the oil until you get a slight shimmer off the top of this, and nothing will ever stick. And this chicken is starting to sear instead of stew right away the second you drop it in. So we're gonna let the chicken begin to sear, and then we're gonna flip it over. We're gonna take the chicken out, put it onto a sheet pan. Oh, by the way, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I usually tell you to do that right at the very beginning, but it slipped my mind. So go ahead and preheat your oven because we're gonna pan roast the chicken. Give it a good sear, put it on the sheet pan, and then finish it in the oven. And then we're gonna build the rice dish back in the same pan. So that really yummy flavor is starting to collect in the bottom of the pan right now. That's just gonna add so much more delicious depth to our rice dish once it's finished, right? So sear, finish, and then we're gonna use the same pan to build the rice. Nicole? So we're gonna get some really good color out of all this.
Also, this is in the chat, but if you want to find out cuts and retailers for Rosie, you can go to petalumapoultry.com, and all the information you need is right there.
All right, say that one more time.
petalumapoultry.com.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find the cuts and the retailers to get Rosie chicken.
Perfect. I love that. Great. Again, and they're everywhere here in the West Coast. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're at
guys,
every grocery store.
so while it's starting to sear up, we're gonna prep a couple of things. We're gonna chop an onion. All right, we're gonna chop some garlic, and then we're gonna finally mince some ginger. We're gonna do that with a microplane. Okay. While that's starting to sear, we're just gonna jump into this real quick. Okay, so when it comes to dicing, point sticks, cubes, okay, we're gonna go almost to the end of this with our sharp knife here. Bang. And so the plank is gonna be a nice vertical horizontal cut. The sticks are gonna be a vertical cut down, going almost all the way to the edge. And then we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna cut the sticks into cubes. So planks, sticks, and then cubes. And the onion falls apart in a really beautiful dice. Great knife cuts. Love it. And Matt's peeling the ginger. This is kind of a fun thing too. Show them what you got. I'll share the board with you, bro. Come on up. Tell them what you're doing, bro.
So I'm peeling the ginger for Tyler, just to help out. But I like to use a spoon. Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Spoon, and that way you can kind of get into all of the like nooks and crannies of the ginger and just gently get all the peelings off. Works really well.
Yeah. We decided to give Matt a couple more things to do tonight because people in last a couple of comments like, what does that guy do? Matt's been our culinary director for the last like 4 years, and Matt and I've been cooking together for over 10. And he was our executive pastry chef at Wayfair Tavern, our restaurant in the city, and then he was our CDC, and he's opened up a bunch of restaurants in Sacramento. Literally one of the best chefs I've ever met in my life. Just so you know who that guy is over there in the corner.
I also write and test all these recipes before you get them.
That's right. So the reason they work is because Matt makes them at home. And here in the test kitchen, yeah. All right, cool. So, all right, we're again onions, garlic, ginger, and our chicken is starting to smell really, really good. We're gonna bounce over here for a second, kind of get that little look-see. Okay. This is great. Are you ready for the flip cam? Boom. Isn't that color gorgeous? Look at that. Okay. Technique is everything, folks. Everything. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna flip this back over because I want a little more color on this. But we're kind of getting there. Isn't that really pretty? Right? And that color is just starting to stack up some really fantastic flavors.
So I know it's a little loud, but people are wondering what kind of cooktop that is.
Okay, so this is fabulous. It's made by a company, Breville, from Australia. Again, another really great company we've been working with for a very long time. And this is a thing called a control freak. We got to this out. Let me show you. So this is not cheap. This thing is $1,400. I have 3 of them. But we literally use it every single day. And it's called the control freak for a reason, because we're control freaks in the kitchen. And you get super duper precise with temperature, because when you master like that fish seared at that temperature and that oil, having to reproduce that over and over again turns into a formula, right? So this helps us do that, to really kind of nail exactly how hot dishes need to be to make them really, really perfect. So check it out. You can also find this on our website. Again, not the cheapest thing in the world, but I literally use this all the time.
Yeah, we would not be able to do these classes without it.
Yeah, totally. We travel with this. We take this to events all the time, and it's just a magical piece. I mean, we've been rude to this thing. I mean, and it's really just like.
I mean, we have regular burners back here, but looking at our backs while cooking isn't the most exciting television.
It's not. But anyway, so check these things out. They're not the cheapest thing in the world, but they're worth it if you're in the market for a tabletop cooking system like that. Made from Breville, called Control Freak. You can find a direct link on our website on wolfitdown.com and the e-retail store. And I think they're awesome. Anyway, it's great. So Matt is grating up the ginger on the microplane. So it's really, really nice and thin. Our onions are chopped. Our garlic is sliced. Onions chopped, garlic sliced, ginger microplaned. All right, so that's going to be the next step once we get a really gorgeous color on our chicken. And I think we're there, kids. Ooh, look at that. Now we're talking.
And if you don't have a microplane, you can just, finely mince up the ginger as well.
Now we're talking. Look at that, kids. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
You see these guys?
Yes. Okay, perfect.
We have a first-time viewer who's asking about the knives.
All right. Okay, let me get this in the oven. I'll tell you, right? Okay, so again, we're going to take our chicken here. Now, we've got these like really cool stainless steel pans that we use in kitchens all the time. Just whatever you got. You got a cookie sheet, you've got a sheet pan, whatever it is. So our beautiful Rosie organic, super plump, really delicious chicken. Look at that, bomb.
Gorgeous.
Gonna go in the oven 350 degrees for somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes until we get internal temperature, and we're gonna use an infrared thermometer of about 155 degrees. It's gonna carry up to 160, so it's super safe, but the temperature is gonna be awesome. The texture, it's gonna be super juicy. So if you get really nerdy on it, you wanna check it and check it and check it. The second it hits 155 degrees, take it out of the oven. Just take it out. Right? It's gonna be awesome, right?
But
okay.
I call this my 5-2-12 chicken, because I feel like it's 5 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, 12 minutes in the oven.
5-2-12? I think that's great. I think I want to do
that. I mean,
I want to do a cookbook called 5-2-12.
Depends on like the thickness of the actual piece of chicken, whatnot, but I feel like that kind of works perfectly. And obviously this is going to go on the Tagine, but I make chicken like this all the time. It's like my go-to method for making chicken.
And to me, everybody loves chicken. Chicken goes with everything. And again, we want to make sure that we're sharing fabulous technique with you. This just learning how to sear perfect chicken breast where it doesn't come out rubbery or overcooked or undercooked, whatever it is, and then have it around. You'll use it on everything. And it's going to be really great tonight on our tagine. So again, we're going to save all this oil, right? Because this is going to float all through the flavor of a rice dish we're about to make. And again, this is going to be a one-pan dish. So we started the chicken. Chicken's in the oven. We're going to start the rice dish. The rice is going to cook in the same pan, and then we're going to finish it with the sliced chicken, and then this thing goes straight to the table, which I think is really great. This is a really good one-pan weeknight wonder. Yeah, I love it. All right, cool. So check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in our onions, our ginger, and our garlic. Boom. Got a little head start. Let this start to kind of cook along. And then I want to answer that question about the knives. I think they're really, really great.
You're also getting a lot of questions about the tongs, which you always do.
My tongs?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Here, I'll do this. You do that.
Okay, good. So when it comes to cooking, right? I'm just gonna dump this in. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. So when it comes to cooking, so we got regular goofy tongs. Okay. So these are like regular goofy tongs that you kind of like flip ribs over, right? So you can only touch food with the very, very tip of these things, and these feel really super clunky. And then I don't know about you, but this locking mechanism always locks on me. And I'm always.
You have to, like,
how many times have you like caught your finger in there and pinched it?
These are just sort of. I mean, they're good if you're out like flipping steaks on the grill or flipping burgers, whatever. But then if you want to take it to the next level, folks, you feel like you're really kind of getting there, and you can kind of touch the food in a way that's not disturbing the food, like really long. And these are almost like surgical tongs more than anything else, right?
Tweezers, they're not tongs.
These are yeah, well, exactly. These are surgical. Thank you for that. These are surgical tweezers that you want to if you're in the surgical theater and you need a little mopping up to do, right? You got a little gauze on this, and you kind of go in. This is what they're for originally, but I think they also make really nice culinary tools as well. So these are tweezers, long tweezers that I just kind of use as tongs. I think they're kind of fun, but again, you can get these on Amazon. They're cheap, and honestly, like if I have to like look at these two tongs, I'm gonna grab this 10 times out of 10. What do you think?
That.
All right, good. So it is back to our knife, right? If you go into our website, we got some really fun
And I'm going to start adding these spices as you...
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I want to talk about harissa. Let's talk about harissa and we'll talk about the knife. Because this is where this gets interesting. So real fast, before we do this. So this is where this starts to like smell like you're walking through the spice market in Marrakesh, right? So this is where this gets really kind of interesting. So I got a couple of spices here. We got turmeric, all right? And this is just dried turmeric root. I love fresh turmeric. I'm starting to use turmeric more and more in homemade juices at home. I use fresh turmeric in salad dressings. So good for you, anti-inflammatory, nice sort of zesty flavor profile, citrusy, really good, right? Then we've got coriander, which is actually the seed of a cilantro plant.
There's your cilantro. I'm just saying, you said there was no cilantro, but there's your coriander.
It's not.
I mean,
it's a little coriander.
Semantics.
You don't like coriander? Do we just add something to the list?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You don't like coriander?
No.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'll eat it. Like I'll have this.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the exact same thing to me, but yeah, not my favorite.
That's okay. That's about Matt on the other hand.
Can't like everything.
Matt puts coriander in everything.
I put it in everything.
So by the
desserts,
way,
cookies.
they're in your butter cookies, right?
Yeah.
Or your brown butter cookies or your brown sugar cookies.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
Because I was like,
maybe they are, and maybe they are.
I was like, why do I taste something in here?
That I hate.
I want to love everything about these cookies, but there's something in there.
Just something that
By
I
the
hate.
way, when Tyler was talking about you before, you got called out for somebody saying he makes the best cookies. Just saying. You're getting some,
for the people that know, they know.
comment love.
Yeah, for like the grown folk out there who know the good cookies. Harissa. I got to talk about this.
I got to put it in.
I got to talk about this before you do it, because this is harissa powder. Now, there's like wet harissa and dry harissa. So harissa is like a Moroccan chili powder using sort of like nice spicy chilies. It's also got cumin. It's got coriander. It's got all kinds of really interesting flavors inside its
like orange zest.
Orange
and stuff like
zest,
that, yeah.
really super interesting. So this is, out of all these things, these are super complex. This is the most special and most complex. Now there's wet harissa, which is sort of like a fresh chopped, almost like a pickled chili.
It's like a almost like a curry paste.
It's almost like a curry paste, right? You can buy that, and that's really great with like goat cheese and all kinds of fun stuff. But you get the dried version too, and that's what we're using today. So I just want to talk about this before we go. Turmeric, cumin, coriander, and harissa. Boom. I'm going to go in, really kind of build these flavors up, right? This is going to cook down and begin to caramelize with the onions, with the ginger, with the garlic, and let's just start to kind of saute and get really, really nice and sweet. And it's going to smell amazing.
It is
immediately.
It is very fragrant in here.
Super fragrant.
Also, if you're using like a white rubber spatula to do this, don't. You're gonna have that yellow red spatula forever.
And that's your favorite spatula?
The curry spatula.
Yeah, forever.
Your dad just came on.
My dad just came on? Yeah. Hi, Dad. My pop just came on. Went to Florence in Greenville. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are watching tonight. Big Papa's banana pudding. Huh?
I remember that dish.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. So we got the rest of the stuff. Like, so we're gonna go. Yep, rice is going to be next, right? So this is basmati rice. Again, sort of like a very traditional rice in a lot of like Middle Eastern cultures. Has a really beautiful jasmine aroma to it, great flavor. We're going to add that to our wonderful flavor vehicle that really starting to develop here, right? Caramelized onions, garlic, ginger, that really wonderful basmati rice. It's starting to kind of cook away, smells amazing. Now, see what Matt's doing right now, right? So we're starting to just start it from the bottom, now we're here. Toss, we're scraping as we go, and we're really kind of pulling up all that flavor because now the rice is going to taste delicious, absolutely delicious, right?
It's right back there.
Okay, what do you got?
The coffee maker. The juice, kid.
Okay, so next up is going to be some chicken stock, and that's going to be our liquid vehicle, right? So we've got a 2-to-1 ratio with our rice to our liquid. It's going to be 1 cup rice, 2 cups of chicken stock, and that's always the golden rule. I mean, sometimes if you're going to go brown rice, if you're going to go wild rice, it's a little bit of a different ratio, but 2 to 1. And sometimes you get in like really good grandma's kitchens, and they, when they make a pot of rice, let's say just kind of stick your finger into like the top knuckle. Yeah. Right, and that's all. That the water depth on top of the rice is perfect. But 2 to 1's the way you want to go.
I'm gonna just toss all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. All right, so we got all kinds of fun stuff. We got a can of tomatoes. Okay, that's gonna go in.
Just chopped, like diced tomatoes. So you kind of, it's not just like that paste. So you actually get some like volume and some texture out of them, which is also gonna add some wetness.
Yeah, you're going to get some moisture out of the tomatoes, and again, you're also going to get like more substance, right? You're turning this into a really delicious vegetable rice dish, which is great. Chickpeas are going to go in, super nutritious, high protein. Everybody loves chickpeas. If you don't like chickpeas, you don't like puppies.
Well, and this kind of would make it so that if you didn't want to put the chicken on top,
great vegetarian dish as is.
Super vegetarian dish.
Well, minus the chicken stock. You can use water or vegetarian stock if you want to. Yeah. But if you just want to go meatless Monday, meatless Monday and just have a really good rice dish is bomb. Yeah. So great. Okay, so we just threw some green olives into this, and to me, again, if you're walking around like the markets in Marrakesh, it's all about these beautiful, gorgeous salt-cured, brine, fantastic olives. They grow those all over the Mediterranean. Great flavor profile. Raisins are going to go in. Now, when I was picking out our orange wine today, I was thinking about the raisins, and I was also thinking about the dates that are going to be the garnish on top of that. And that's where I'm getting a lot of this like Croix flavor profile. What they call the matrix, where you start to match up the flavor profile of the wine and the dish itself. So that's where we're kind of getting all that fun stuff, though.
All right.
It's good. All right, next up, boom. Chicken stock's gonna go in. All right, we're gonna let this start to simmer. Then we're gonna finish it with a little orange zest right on top. Thank you, sir.
This is also a good point, right when you add that chicken stock in, kind of give the bottom of your pan one last little scrape, let that chicken stock kind of deglaze it and get all that yummy bits off the pan.
Exactly. Fantastic. And then last but not least, we're just going to hit it with the zest of an orange. And all of these flavors just really represent, I think, the vibrant culinary palette of the Middle East.
Yeah.
And I think those flavors are white hot right now. I think like Lebanese cooking is like really on fire. I think Moroccan cooking has never been better, more interesting. And all these flavors just like, they taste like, like some place in the world, right? This is the flavor profile.
Yeah, definitely brings you to that sense of place.
One of the oldest, deepest culinary traditions in the world. And I just think it's so interesting, so fun to pay attention to. But the cool thing about this, honestly, is the variability of this particular recipe. You can really make this your own, right? So let's talk about some of the swap outs. I mean, any vegetable in here can be swapped out for any vegetable. Like you could hardcore make this like chicken broccoli rice if you want to. Like make it really super kid friendly. Scratch everything, and the only vegetable that you add in there is the broccoli, and then
do the honors.
Thank you, buddy. And then slice the chicken. You can finish it with teriyaki sauce. I mean, you could really make this super simple.
It's a formula.
Yeah, exactly. The 2-to-1 ratio, I think, is the most important thing. The 2-to-1 ratio between the rice and the liquid. That's where the sweet spot is, to make sure the rice is perfectly cooked. And we're just going to simmer this away. Now, again, we're making sort of like Tagine flavors. We're not pretending that we're making a real Tagine, because obviously we're not. But we're making, if this were a Tagine, we just put the pot on, put the lid on the pot just like we normally would, and it would start to simmer. And that's what we're going to do now. The lid's going to go on, and then we're going to drop the temperature down to like a medium, and let this start to simmer. So this is going to take about
15 to 20.
Yeah, 15 to 20 to cook all the way through. And we'll check it periodically, but make sure you put the lid on. So all those kind of flavors, they don't evaporate. They just kind of start to intensify and make the rice really juicy and lovely. It's good.
Love it.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about the garnish for this, right? So dates are, like the eternal snack of the Middle East, right? You can't, it's hard to have like a tea time without having really beautiful like Moroccan mint tea with a nice little big plate of fresh dates. These are absolutely fabulous. So these actually come from Southern California, from one of our dear friends who has a date farm, and these are just super juicy and really plump. And then we're gonna take these, now we cut them in half, and took out the pit and then cut the halves in half. So they're kind of cut into spears, right? Sort of 1/4 spears. And we have a nice little bowl here. And we kind of pre-cut these earlier, and you just want to make sure they're nice and soft and separated. And then we're just going to make a nice little flavored garnish on top of that. We're going to finish these with lime juice, a little bit of salt, and then we're going to smash some fresh mint and just kind of jam that in there and stir them around and just kind of let them set. So you're going to get that really delicious dried fruit flavor, stone fruit flavor, and it's going to be nice and sort of like zesty with a pop of lime. A little bit of salt is going to make it really delicious, and then we're just going to take some fresh mint. I'm going to tear it, kind of give that a full too, and then this is really just going to be a garnish with some olive oil too.
Yep.
Thank you, bud. And then we're going to just kind of let these set, kind of put these on the side.
I would very happily just eat that straight out of the bowl.
Wouldn't that be really nice?
Yeah.
I love that hyper flavor combination of salty sweet between olives and dates.
Yeah.
And it's the reason they're always really great on a cheese board, right? They just taste good together. A little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to set these on the side, and we're just going to hang tight. Let's take a look at the rice and see how this is starting to come along here, right? Because it smells really good. All right. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Now look at the color of the rice. The color is beautiful, nice, golden yellow from the turmeric. Smells amazing, smells really incredible. It's getting there. It's not quite done yet, but what we're starting to notice here, which is a sign of success, are these little individual kind of tunnels of air bubbles are starting to pop through. We've gone from like a simmering pot of liquid to focused little steam channels. Now, when those bubbles become very distinct and the top of this is dry, we're going to give a little tiny peek with the spoon, but I think we'll be done at that point. Turn it off and then leave the lid on. And I always like to sort of, when the rice is kind of beginning to be finished, turn it off and then put the lid on and let it steam the rest of the way through so it doesn't overcook. Right?
Do you ever put, because I just read this recently, I think it was in a Julia Turchin book, that she finishes cooking the rice and then she takes a paper towel and she puts it in between the lid and the pan and the pot and puts it back on. And I feel like that absorbs some of the steam. I don't know what it does, but it makes it really fluffy.
I think it depends on what you're going for. So this is actually more of a creamier, amalgamated, almost like a rice pilaf kind of thing, right? But when we make rice at home, and my wife has a Japanese rice maker, and we're only looking for fluffy, super fluffy rice. Yeah. And what I like to do also is to, when we're making fluffy rice, not this of course, but fluffy rice, is take a fork and just fluff it. So we're going to leave this alone because we want this to be...
Fluff it.
Just fluff it, kids. We want this to be juicy. We want this to be a really nice sort of like
almost risotto-y.
a little drier than risotto, but you're totally on the right track with that,
creamy.
right? But creamy, exactly, right? So almost like a rice pilaf. But if I want to make fluffy rice, I would literally take the pot once I think it's done, take a fork, fluff it up, and just let that kind of restain. But it's good. How's the wine? Wine's yummy, right?
Wine's good. People are asking if you're going to be in South Beach, so that's a yes.
Hard yes.
We're testing recipes today.
Exactly, man. As a matter of fact, if you go on to my Instagram story, you can see this dish that Matt and I put together. There's a little sneaky preview of our smoked beef with mole and all kinds of fun flavors on that. It's going to be just awesome. Come check it out. If you're going to be in South Beach with us for the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, please come. If you think about going, we'd love to have you. We are hosting 3 events all weekend, starting next Thursday, as a matter of fact. We're leaving on Wednesday. And then we have if I get this right, so we've got our dinner Chicconis on Thursday.
And then we have fried chicken and champagne event.
Fried chicken champagne, the chicken coop, which is going to be hot.
Yeah, on Friday. And then Saturday, I believe around like 4 o'clock, we're doing the demo.
You want to show them what you're bringing? You want to show them what you're bringing?
The whole thing, I don't want to give it away now.
But just show, you could
Just showing this?
We're making, so in honor.
We're using blowtorches.
In honor of the Great Food Truck Race Alaska, we're making a baked Alaska on stage.
Giant one.
A big, huge one. It's going to be bananas. We're bringing 2 of these things down. Fire it up, kid. Show them what you're talking about. We're making a gigantic, huge baked Alaska. And we're bringing flamethrowers!
Oh my God.
Did you get that? Baked Alaska.
Yeah, I mean,
in 95-degree weather on the beach.
Sounds like a good idea.
It's gonna be fun. Something may go wrong.
As it melts.
And it always does. Anyway, so it'll be fun. So come join us if you guys are going to be in Miami next weekend. The South Beach Wine and Food Festival. It is the absolute culinary party of the year, kids. You got to come. You got to come. It's good.
Are you sending that down, or are you bringing it on the plane?
We're gonna buy propane when we get there, and we're taking the tops.
Yeah, we're bringing the tops, and then propane should be on site.
Here we go. All right, so now show them what you're doing. 140, 145. Insert thermometer. All right, let's center this up a little bit so everybody can follow along. So this little gizmo right here is an absolute lifesaver in the kitchen. This thing is fantastic. So this is a $9, $12, depending on where you get it from, gadget off of Amazon. It's an insert thermometer, and it lets you know what the internal temperature is of what you're cooking. So if you are the beast on the grill and you want to make sure that you've got a perfect medium rare, you got to get one of those. If you're cooking a roasted chicken, if you're cooking turkey at Thanksgiving, this thing is an absolute lifesaver.
I think they could go a little bit longer.
All right, cool. So fantastic. So again, we're looking for a perfect.
Those are thick.
Little thickies.
Yeah.
THIQQ. Thick.
QQ?
Thickies, man.
CC.
CC.
CCQQ. Same thing.
Whatever. Same sound.
Same. Yeah. It might be. It might not. It might be. Anyway, chicken's going to go in. We're looking for, and that's how you know, which is great because sometimes you feel like if you're cooking chicken, people want to cut and peek, and you don't want to do that.
Right. Then it just lets all the juice out.
Lets the juices out.
Yeah.
Our chicken is done. Anyway, instant read thermometer is going to let you know. This is a really super great tool. 151, 152. Right 55, dead on the mark. These are great. So a lot of sort of temperature rules out there with poultry will tell you to take it to 160, and I agree. But I like to take it out at 150 or 155 because it's piping hot, and it will continue to cook as you take it out. I think if you take it out at 160, 165, 170, it's dried out, right? And then that's where a chicken breast becomes really rubbery and really boring and dry and whatever. But I'm gonna let this rest for a second, but we're gonna slice this up, and this is the juiciest bird you've ever seen. Really, really good. So, so the chicken, rice is almost done. Chicken's cooked. We got a nice little marinade here. Don't forget, as soon as I plate this up, and you can take a picture of it, post it on Instagram using #WolfItDown. Tag me, Amanda's standing by, and if you get it up first, you get a free T-shirt. So we love you. We're giving stuff away here. It's fun.
Giving stuff away.
Yep, totally. And I forgot about the pickles too, man. Pickled onions. Those look great, dude.
Well,
now the longer they sit, will they color and turn pink like the whole thing?
Exactly. And they're getting there now.
They're getting there.
So pull up some. Share
with the class.
Share with the class. See how pretty they are? They're really, really starting to pop.
Oh yeah, they're like fluorescent.
Fluorescent, right? And this is where I think these become really interesting too, right? Look at the color. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Really, really gorgeous. So it's a fun, really super vibrant. I think people eat with their eyes first. Yep. It's gonna be good. So, so we got for our garnish, we've got some toasted almonds. You can have pistachios, pine nuts,
Apricots.
Apricots would be really great. Any kind of like dried figs would be really good. With this too, be good. Prunes would be kind of nice. Yeah.
What about like cherries?
Dried cherries? Dried
Or
cranberries, go crazy,
Dried cherries
whatever.
or fresh cherries.
Yeah, fresh cherries
Like
be kind of
fresh
nice
pitted
too.
cherries could be kind of cool.
Why not? I don't know. Make it your own.
I don't know.
Cilantro, blue cheese.
Pile it on.
Pile on high. Good. Dates, almonds, pickled red onions, fresh mint. We got fresh mint for the garni?
Yep.
Yep. Beautiful. Love that. Okay, cool. And then we're ready to kind of plate up. I hope you guys are having a good time tonight. We are. We love doing this. And this is where this gets kind of cool because like we wanted to design a really delicious weeknight meal that you go, okay, kids, boom, dinner's on the table. And so here it is. The rice is nice and finished, super duper fluffy, right? And we're gonna give you a little sneak peek, right? The grains are perfectly cooked, really, really nice and fluffy. And I think this is gonna be absolutely gorgeous, right? So gonna smash that back down. All right, then we're gonna take our chicken breast and kind of give this a nice slice. Move this right over here.
Yeah, you just keep the lid on while you're slicing
Yep,
the chicken
totally.
breast.
Yep. Yeah, keep that nice and hot, and that'll stay hot forever too, right? All right, so let's get a nice slice on this bird. Let me show you what I'm talking about. With our, you want to? Oh yeah, this is a good shot right here. Look at that. All right.
Some juicy chicken.
Can you get a good shot of this? See how juicy it is? Look at the juice, kids. Look at the juice. All right, we're gonna slice this slightly on the bias, and then we're gonna create like a nice little mosaic on top of our rice dish here. And then you set it up where there's no bad bite. There's a good scoop. You get a little bit of everything with each scoop.
We
And
have a
we'll set it up.
question.
Yep.
Does testing the temp make it lose juices? Because you poke that thing and like some juice comes
Not
through.
enough.
Yeah,
Definitely not enough, right? Definitely not.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool. Can you get a good overhead shot, Alex? I think that's kind of nice. Look at that. Boom. What else is going on in the culinary world right now? You guys following these stories? I feel like I've been kind of out of it for about a week now. Because we're getting ready for
everything is just like restaurant reopening stuff, and you know how that's feeling to people. I've been talking to a lot of people in the restaurant industry who are saying that staffing has gotten a little bit hard. You know, I think
A
people
little bit.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's a thing. People kind of scattered and
Yeah, I saw something today about shopping inflation, like grocery store inflation, how it's gone up like 4.2%.
oh wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
And just like how just everything down the pipeline to commodities and cost of goods, and from like truck drivers not being able to find enough drivers to get on the road, and it just like affecting the entire pipeline, which is driving up shopping grocery store inflation.
Yeah.
and you may see that price reflected
At your restaurant.
at a restaurant, right? You may see that,
Yeah.
but I think it's really important to be part of the reopening of all this
Your
stuff. Right?
$10
Yes.
avocado toast now gonna be 15.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It might be, but I
But
think
we got to
that's-
support those restaurants.
That's the kind of the world we live in
If
right
we
now.
want 'em.
So it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Wafer Tavern reopened, and we're actually doing numbers, which is great. So we haven't opened our private event space on the 4th and 5th floor, but our 1st and 2nd floor in our tavern, and we're going to be 11 years old coming up this June. I love Wayfair Tavern. If you happen to be in the San Francisco Bay Area, please stop by. A lot of people say it's a big deal. You know, our fried chicken, our popovers, Matt's recipe for the popovers. Still rock and rolling that all day long. We'd love to see you. And I stopped by. I went to a basketball game yesterday. I went to go see the Golden State Warriors.
yeah, I saw
and
that.
it was because I'm fully vaccinated. I went with a friend of mine who was fully vaccinated, and we went and we just had a fun time just being out there with other people cheering on the Warriors. Who
Was
were
it pretty
just-
empty in there? Like, how did it feel inside? It looked kind of empty-ish from the pictures.
It got loud. It still got loud.
Yeah.
So they were at 30% capacity at the Chase Center, And it felt kind of safe, you know. Everybody had a mask on. Everybody's being really, really responsible, and everybody was vaccinated just to get into or either vaccinated or had a COVID test within 48 hours. So everyone was like super duper safe, and you know, it was great to see the Warriors just kind of come back and rock it. They won, so we're super close to being into the playoffs, which is just great for the city. So it's good. Love it. All right, cool. So let's plate this up. Gang, here we go. Now get ready. Once you finish this and make it look as close to mine as possible, take a picture, post it on Instagram, tag me, hashtag #WolfItDown, and we'll send you a free t-shirt. So let the games begin. Okay, so we're going to take our chicken here, and we're just going to create a really beautiful mosaic all the way around. And we really want to create this thing where there's no bad bite anywhere. So you want to put this into, you know, the middle of the table and let everybody kind of just jump in. And then we've got our gorgeous pickled red onions. They're going to go on top here as well. And then our dates and then our fresh mint.
And having those colors on top, I mean, really makes this dish just pop, because obviously the colors of the rice are beautiful, but it's a different, it's like a different color palette.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like spice.
Just Scoobies?
Little Scooby snack, chef snack. We get a nice center, there you go, boom. Okay, so a nice big center presentation, nice big around the circle, around the world. Dates and mint. Apricots would be really nice on this. Dried cherries would be really nice on this. Just some good fruit to kind of counterbalance some of those delicious, zesty spices we've got going on inside the rice. Rice is nice and creamy, filled with chickpeas and tomatoes and those salty olives. Those are going to be really nice as well. And we're just going to create like a nice little scatter. Just really beautiful mosaic. No big wrong place to put anything. Just kind of make sure it's really nice and balanced. A little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, looking good. And then we've got our gorgeous pickled red onions. And Matt's going to drain off some of those for us. And then we got some fresh mint to throw on top of this, and then our almonds. And Matt says almonds kind of funny.
You say almonds?
Yeah.
I say almonds.
Yeah.
And that's a very California thing.
My friend from my old job used to say almonds too.
Yeah, they're almonds when they're on the tree, and they're almonds when they're off the tree.
Oh,
because you know how they get them down. You know how they get them off the tree.
I feel like
you gotta shake the L out of the tree.
It's a dad joke.
It's a dad joke. Gotta shake the L out of it.
You gotta shake the L out of it, folks.
Oh goodness.
Look at now it's really starting to pop. See this, guys? Our pickled red onions are going right on top. Look at that, guys. Boom. This is an elevated, really beautiful midweek meal. The most important thing is the takeaway on the 2-to-1 ratio with the rice and the liquid itself. And again, you could make this hardcore, cheesy broccoli, chicken, rice that the kids will just love. So if this feels like, you know, really interesting for like adult night, but you're not really sure if your kids are going to love it, A, they will. But B, you could totally just take the ratio and make it your own, which is great. Almonds are on top. Now let's just start to pop. Isn't that cool? Fresh mint, right? And then, folks, we've got a really gorgeous rice dish. Lovely. Paired up with a really, I think, a super interesting Sicilian orange red, orange wine. Happens to be white, but it's orange in color. Nice and fragrant.
You said first 5 people to make the dish and post it on your Instagram. We're getting some comments.
The first 5 people?
It says, a couple of people are saying first 5 people make the dish and post it on his Instagram.
Who said that?
I don't know, just a couple people on the...
A couple people said I said that?
Yeah.
First 5
Didn't
people?
you promise 5 shirts?
Did I promise 5 shirts? I'll give away 5 shirts. I've got 5 shirts.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you talking to me?
Let's see. Let's see.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Throw them up there, and
roll the tape.
We'll see what we get.
Let's see what you
We'll
got.
cross that bridge when we get to 5.
But guys, here's the whole thing. A really gorgeous Moroccan chicken tagine. The dish is so vibrant, full of amazing flavor. I hope you make this. And again, check out wolfitdown.com/live. If you're just hanging out with us tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome. Smash that recipe, download it. It's yours. You can make this whenever you want. This whole broadcast will also be up and live immediately following our broadcast right now, so you can watch it again and again, and it'll be up there forever. But we had so much fun with you, as always.
Plate one up for our friend Amanda Gold.
Amanda, you want to get a good shot of this, bro? A good side shot? And we definitely want to give our technical producer, Nikki, a wonderful round of applause for knocking this one out of the park tonight, my brother. But you got to get a shot of this. Here we go. Look at all that. Bang.
What can you use if you don't like mint?
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Green onions.
Arugula. Arugula would be really nice on this. Shredded iceberg lettuce, I think would be really nice too. You could take the same, no joke, you take the same technique and totally make this like gorgeous and like Latin American, all you want, right? Full of like cumin and salsa and all kinds of great stuff. But you got this, check this out, this right, you got an overhead shot of that? Overhead, boom. Look at that, kids. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna give you a little pickled red onion here. So we had fun with you tonight. I hope you had fun with us. We love you. Thanks so much for sticking around for all those folks who are watching with us tonight. wolfitdown.com/live is your gateway to all of our future classes coming up. Smash the RSVP button. Download the recipe. We're doing this every week. And thank you so much, Rosie's Chicken, our absolute favorite chicken company from Petaluma, California. You guys are great. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Please go support our sponsors. Ask for Rosie's by name. No joke, it's the best chicken here in California. We're happy to have them as a sponsor tonight, so thank you.
Yes, get it at your local grocery store.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if there's any other classes you guys want to see, let us know in the chat.
Yep.
We're happy to
Amanda, here you go.
work those out.
Oh, thank you.
Work it out. So this rice dish is packed with so much amazing flavor. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We had an absolute ball. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll be on Facebook. Make sure you sign up for our Wolf It Down Live Facebook group. So much great sort of chat going on inside that. A lot of good friends to make. And we had a ball hanging out with you tonight. As always, man, happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Hope you guys have a great week.
What day is it?
Hump Day! Wolf It Down Live, episode 3. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next week right here on Facebook. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye everybody.